सुनने में एकदम सख्त, पर सोचो तो मजेदार है। बोलने में उसूल आसान, सरल उसका उच्चार है, पर समझ तभी पाएगा घर चलेगा कोई अकेला 4 कदम उसूलों पे। जो उसूलों पे चल सका उसके जीवन में दिशा है। उसूलों में कठिनता है, कई बार उसूलों पे चलने वाले को मिलती कई चुनौतियां हैं। नामुमकिन तो नहीं, पर काफी मुश्किल है उसूलों पे अकेले चलना। सिर्फ उसूल भी अकेले कहां कुछ कर पाते हैं, साथ तो उन्हें भी चाहिए उसूलों पे चलने वालों का। उसूलों पे अगर सब साथ चलें तो उसूल नहीं, उससे कई ज्यादा है। साथ चलें तो उसूल परंपरा है, संस्कृति है, सामाजिक संपत्ति है, जिस पे निर्भर हो सकती है आने वाली कई पीढ़ियां। कीमत भले उतनी ही चुकानी पड़े उसूलों की, पर साथ चलें तो उसूल पूरा पैसा वसूल है। साथ चलें जो उसूलों पे, उनके जीवन में सफलता है। उसूलों पे साथ चलना मेरा, तुम्हारा, हम सबका इसी में फायदा है। स्वर्ण आदर्श अभियान एक औद्योगिक पहल।
So thank you, Shiva. So, ma'am, platform is yours. Continue the session.
Thank you, Pankaj. Thank you for the sweet. Good afternoon, everyone. मैं गुंजन साफ्रा, चीफ ऑपरेटिंग ऑफिसर एंड हेड ऑफ डिपार्टमेंट ज्वेलरी डिजाइन, इंटरनेशनल इंस्टीट्यूट ऑफ जेमोलॉजी की तरफ से आप सभी का स्वागत करती हूँ। आज का IBJA वर्ल्ड गोल्ड काउंसिल ज्ञान सीरीज में हम गोल्ड ज्वेलरी के ट्रेंड्स एंड टेक्निक्स के बारे में बात करेंगे। बट बिफोर आई मैं कहना चाहूंगी, गोल्ड ज्वेलरी, द ट्रेंड ऑफ वेयरिंग गोल्ड इज अगेन बैक, इट्स अगेन इन। गोल्ड ज्वेलरी एक बीच में जब डायमंड सेगमेंट आया था, तो जो शिफ्ट हुआ था, इट अगेन बिकेम बैक। सो क्या चेंजेस है, हाउ these things have changed in the scenario, why gold is always looked on to as a kind of investment, as a kind of sustainable material. So उसके बारे में I would just give a small gist that gold jewelry is always associated with our culture, with our versatility, with our variety that we show since ages. Gold jewelry आज की नहीं है, it is coming from with age, stone age बोल दीजिए, जब से मेटल्स की डिस्कवरी हुई है वो टाइम से we have seen gold in different forms. पहले रॉ फॉर्म में, फिर उसकी एवोल्यूशन से, as and now the designing sense, the techniques in gold innovating are developing. So gold has always been a part of human civilization. We are associated with gold jewelry both for its versatility, उसकी investment. गोल्ड को धन ऐसे ही नहीं कहा गया, बट कमिंग फ्रॉम द कमर्शियल पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू, अगर हम बात करें कि इंडिया में हाईएस्ट एक्सपोर्ट्स गोल्ड ज्वेलरी की होती है, how the present scenario has changed the entire way of looking at jewelry. I'll just go into the presentation, but how I'll give a small gist about International Institute of Gemology at our institute from the education point of view are trying to depict. So IIG is trying to deliver through its educational programs all about gem and jewelry education. We are trying to develop, to inculcate the skills of gem and jewelry industry in our young professionals, whether it's courses about gems, whether it's about design, whether it's about diamonds, everything that is associated with gold or making of jewelry is taught at IIG. We have taught more professionals and our students have successfully been absorbed in the gem and jewelry industry. before I say much about it, I'll just share a small video. We'll go with the trend.
Where knowledge meets excellence, where skills meet right opportunities, where craft meets conviction. Welcome to IIG, the International Institute of Gemology, the education pioneers of Indian gems and jewellery industry. A successful journey of 56 years from SRDC to International Institute of Gemology, an institute with a continuing legacy of educating and empowering individuals to become expert gems, jewellery and diamond professionals. The institute offers 25+ full-fledged comprehensive courses and has been a platform of success and career growth for over 1 lakh graduates who have entered the professional world of gems and jewellery. IIG offers strategic corporate training that fosters the development and growth of the industry. After the success of its 4 full-fledged state-of-the-art campuses, IIG has launched the first ever campus of South India in collaboration with Lakshmi Diamonds in Bangalore. IIG holds prestigious tie-ups with institutes like De Beers Group, Gemmy Wizard and Venus Jewels. IIG has also sponsored the National Jewellery Awards NJA, organized by GYAAN for 3 consecutive years. The recent IIG IBJA Skill Development Council partnership is intended to take gems and jewellery education in India a notch higher with full-fledged digitized courses and app-based learning. Some of the courses at IIG are affiliated to the Mumbai University. IIG is committed to provide value-aided training, internships and market exposure opportunities through various exhibitions and industrial visits that boost up the professional careers of its students via both online and offline education. They are also given career campus opportunities to enter the market by networking with prestigious DTC site-holder companies and guest lectures held by international jewellery professionals. Among several accolades won by the Institute, its most recent honours include Certificate of Excellence and Education Institute of the Year by GJTCI Excellence Awards 8th edition. IIG has also been honoured with the Best Educational Institute 2022 award at the 7th India International Bullion Summit held by the Indian Bullion and Jewellery Association. The Institute's dedication towards its values is at the core of its success in providing value-based training. It is also through this dedication that students make a lasting mark in the industry and become leading professionals who drive a positive change. Enter the gateway of opportunities for a successful professional career with IIG.
So this was all about International Institute of Gemology. So this was all about IIG, 59-year-old institute in gem and jewelry education. Mr. Rahul Desai, CEO and MD of IIG in 2018, and he has rebranded it with International Institute of Gemology. And we together are working on this front with the industry enthusiasts with professionalism and skills. So in this perspective, I'll just elaborate a few points, present trends and techniques that are working in the gem and jewelry sector, where gold jewelry can be the part of the next generation. I just share my presentation. Yes, I hope everybody can see the presentation. Saurabh, is it visible?
Yeah, ma'am, visible.
So trends and techniques in gold jewelry. Of course, gold jewelry market is a big, and India is always looked on with the gem and jewelry that is exported all across the world. The world looks on to India with the niche craftsmanship for its niche craftsmanship and the design sense that is worldwide famous. So India not only known for the gold jewelry market, but also it is the world's second largest consumer of gold. If we go back to the dates, you will see there's a rapid change is coming over in last few years due to demographics that are changing day by day. So bridal gold jewelry dominates the Indian culture. And जब हम अपने Indian culture की बात करते हैं, the first major segment that we are having is gold jewelry bridal. But the young generation have taken up with the bridal collection, the gold jewelry in a very niche manner. There is a major shift in designing styles, techniques, presentations, forms that has been adaptability and accepted by the industry in different ways. As for the consumer needs, we are adapting to needs and we are keeping up the production processes as per the market requirements. So, percent of the exports to 5 countries, major one. So we see that 90% of our export is on the jewelry. So gold has always been a part of our economics. So the total gold exports, अगर हम बात करें, is 7.95%. It's grown to more than crores as compared to the larger of the previous. So a 5,000 crore plus export only in gold jewelry. Diamond, gems are taken back apart. Alawa, only gold market is bucking up like thing. So we also as a designer, we see the coming up of the industry, the change, the need of new designs, the new needs. We set up, we forecast the new trends, how we are also training our students, our designers for the need that is coming up. So we also explore a lot of techniques, innovations, fusions in every segment. So play has always been part of our, that is 80 to 85 always going to the plain gold jewelry. That is, we can say 22 carat, but this 22 carat is not the only thing. Even now we have seen a shift of market making the same plain gold jewelry in 18 carat. It's growing day by day. People are shifting to this core of new of gold, new techniques of gold, new styles. So what is required market is always something new in the gold market segment. So we have seen people getting into lightweight. We have seen them shifting to minimalistic, which is the need of the time. Studded jewelry always have its always have its own market, like kundan, poli, jarao. All these always have a market share, but the maximum always goes to the gold jewelry. So the innovation in technique in gold jewelry. So 60 to 70% of our are studded with diamonds, 30-40% are with the precious and semi-precious stones, and the major is taken by the gold. So if you actually read the latest development, the government has reduced the custom duty of import of gold from 15 to 6%. That's the biggest news for India, because maximum difference of the import duty brings a lot of opportunities for the market segment to work more on the more and more import of gold. Again, it will be converted into more than of gold jewelry. Even platinum has reduced from 6.4% from 15, has come down to 6.4% from 15.4. So that is another metal that is exploring in the market. What has significantly expanded is gold jewelry production. So when we talk about gold jewelry, when we talk about metals, so we have in mind the different metals that we designers work on. We have different metals to work, like we have yellow gold, white gold, rose gold. Fusion that is always seen in the market. There is a fusion that is always acceptable to the market. Talking about designing trends and techniques, talking about the principles of design, if we go through, तो उसमें भी हमें कहीं ना कहीं एक कंट्रास्ट की जरूरत होती है. So metal contrast is always accepted by the consumers. They are liked by the consumers. And why it is like this? Because on design principles, if we talk about, the gold always in contrast is more attractive. So we always experiment with gold shades. We experiment with different styles, fusions, shades of gold to bring new things in the market. So market trends, market variety that is produced in the market, the need of the customer, the need to create something new and innovative, all the designers. We also have different shades of gold. We have heard of purple gold. We have heard of black gold. We have talked about green gold. Exploration, all this innovation in the market is because of the consumer needs. The consumers who look for a different variety always go for class. So in that class, the contrast plays a vital role. So these different metals play a major role in creation of gold jewelry. So you see, we also have different textures. Gold jewelry nowadays is not accepted only in plain format. We have different textures to add on to its style. उनको स्टाइल से प्रेजेंट करने के लिए, से प्रेजेंट के लिए हर एक डिजाइन का एक एम्फेसिस पॉइंट रहता है, उसका एक अट्रैक्शन पॉइंट रहता है. Attraction, that contrast is built with different textures also. Now I'm going for a high gold polish. Maintain it with a matte finish. So a contrast of matte and high gold is always active. A contrast of sandblasted with satin finish is expected. We have hammered with plain gold. So hammered is also one of the style. Hammering the metal sheet with a small hammer, making an imprint to give a textured look. So पहले जो plain gold, high polish, diamond cut styles एक high और एक matte में चल जाती थी. But now people are looking for more. The need, the ask from the consumers is more. They look on to new varieties. They look on to new ways to present their jewelry. Everyone wants their jewelry to stand out in a different way. एक कंज्यूमर के पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू से सोचूं तो मुझे ज्वेलरी, आज मैं कुछ खरीदने जा रही हूँ तो मुझे ऐसा चाहिए कि मेरी ज्वेलरी सबसे अलग दिखे. वो अलग दिखने के लिए उनकी चॉइस भी होती है. So we as makers of jewelry, we have to curtail the need of every consumer that is coming to our store. So we have to keep a lot of varieties. So how we experiment on that, how we develop on that. So in that segment, we teach our students also how to work with different textures, how to contrast, how to apply the principles of design. एक डिजाइन पैटर्न में contrast, your attraction, rhythm, movement, ये सारे होनी जरूरी होती. That is how the surface curiosity of a metal is arise. So once a person picks up a jewelry, जब वो अपने स्टोर में, आपके स्टोर में jewelry उठा के देखता है, so the eyeball of a person, of the consumer goes around the jewelry. वो पूरा ओवरव्यू करता है कि इस ज्वेलरी में ऐसा क्या खास है कि मुझे इससे इन्वेस्ट. So the call is how we make our jewelry different, attractive, stand out. So we have to work on various skill factors. उसके टेक्सचर्स क्या काम करते हैं, उसके प्रिंसिपल्स क्या रूल अप्लाई करते हैं. वी अप्लाई ऑल दी while क्रिएशन ऑफ ज्वेलरी. जब आप ये ज्वेलरी डिजाइन वर्क चल रहा होता है वो टाइम से कलेक्शन वी वर्क ऑन. इस बार हम नया क्या लॉन्च करने वाले, व्हाट आर वी लॉन्चिंग दिस दिवाली. So is it we are working on satin finish, we are working on hammer finish, we are working on contrast of trio metals, we are working on mixed metals, we are working with wire finish. Different techniques, different work we go around with our gold jewelry. The shades of, अगर आप shades की बात करें तो shades also play a vital role in that. So whether it's a pink gold, it's a pale yellow gold, it's a green gold, 10 carat yellow gold. Now the preference is also in different caratage of gold. So gold सिर्फ 22 में ही किया जाता, but it is also being preferred in 18 carat jewelry, 14 carat jewelry. So the minimalistic jewelry, the lightweight jewelry is the trend that has got hold in the recent days. Young generations, the millennials, about Gen Zs, they have different outlook. They don't want it as an investment, but they want something that they are in the very moment, something they carry on various day-to-day process. They are happy to wear a lightweight bracelet along with a lightweight studs, hoops, J-hoops, but nothing as an investment. But for us, gold has been an investment. So a lot of exploration and innovation is going in the shades of gold also, and the shift of world is also happening that they prefer to these different shades of gold very acceptably. As you see, we all are from segment, so we understand your carat, what is 22, what is 18 carat, how the gold purity varies, how many different shades can go on with mixing of alloys of copper, zinc with the pure gold to get different shades. So we work on different segments for the gold industry. But apart from such shades, apart from their composition, apart from their mixing alloys, apart from the trends that is happening, we also work on different techniques. So what are the techniques that is going in the market? So there are different types of techniques. So if we talked about the olden days, when there was a simple sheet work that is simple carving that used to go, वहां से चीजें होके यहाँ तक कैसे पहुंची है, कितने अलग अलग वे ऑफ एक्सप्लोरेशन इज हैपनिंग इन ओनली गोल्ड jewelry. So the first thing that has brought a major change in our gold jewelry is the casting process. The casting जिसने पूरा सिनेरियो ही गोल्ड ज्वेलरी का चेंज कर दिया. In fact, process of pouring molten gold into that shape, that casting has totally changed the production process. Casting method, wax casting method, centrifugal casting method, vacuum casting, ये सारी चीजों के आने से the process has become very different. जो प्रोडक्शन प्रोसेस पहले इतना टाइम कंज्यूमिंग होता था वो स्लो डाउन हो गया, तो has increased. Casting has created a complex shapes. जो चीजें पहले हैंड ना हो पाती थी वो कास्टिंग में more precisely, more detailed way it has started. अब चाहे आप pendants की बात करो तो detailing has been given with the help of this casting process. Mass production has started because of this casting process. So casting has been a boon to the jewelry industry, which has brought a more productivity in the industry. Talking about forging or hammering process. Forging, again, shaping the gold into different forms using tools like anvils, hammers, tongs. ये tools लेके उनको hammer करके we forge, we make it you know, different shapes. So it is one of the oldest and most traditional technique making gold. But आज भी there are various places where handmade jewelry is preferred. ऐसा नहीं है कि casting आने से the look of handmade has gone away. Mold of आज भी हैंडमेड की ही बनी है. आवर ओन हेरिटेज, हमारा खुद का जो कल्चर है हैंडमेड का, वो मोम पेटी पे चीजों को सजा के उनको अच्छे से हैंड में क्रिएट करने में इट गिव्स अ सूदिंग इफेक्ट टू दोज क्राफ्टमैनशिप जिनके हैंड वर्क को आज डिफरेंटली प्लेस किया जाता है. दे हैव बिकम अ कल्चर टू अस. So forging is also used to create carved and textured surfaces. So forging is one of the techniques that we used for the gold jewelry. Soldering is one of the process we all know is used for joining together. We have a filler metal, बीच में एक filler के साथ we just try to take a filler over melting point and uske around we just use the fire to solder the pieces together, whether it's rings, whether it's clasps, whether it's chains, setting components, but to the main piece of the jewelry. Soldering is one of the techniques that is used in gold jewelry for joining. It is, you can say, linking, you can see the flexibility of आज अगर मैं shoulder duster earring do, if I'm talking about a long chandelier, so entire beauty depends on its links. So the links are the way the links are attached, shoulder जितने अच्छे तरह से उनकी flexibility जितनी अच्छी तरह से रहेगी उतने अच्छे से the design piece is depicted. It is used in a more decorative, in a more fancy way. It can be used in any kind of jewelry. In granulation, filigree work में we can use solders to create a good niche look of minimalistic jewelry. Engraving, carving, दोनों चीज आती हैं. एक मेटल को कार्व करना डिफरेंट डिजाइन में, उसमें पैटर्न क्रिएट करना, उसमें कटिंग करना. सो दिस इज ऑल अ पार्ट ऑफ आवर carving tools, जिसे हम gravers भी बोलते हैं. बहुत सारी चीजें with the latest technology, engraving is also done with the help of laser. but जो hand engraven pieces हैं उनका look उनका अलग ही होता है. So the surface of gold of talking हम engraving a part of jewelry, अगर design principle के ऊपर बात करूँ तो a part of a jewelry which is engraved and the other part is totally completely plain, that creates a beautiful contrast. जब आपस में contrast करती है तो that design completely उठ के आता है. So that is engraving techniques. They all should be used not completely on its own but with a contrast. Contrast enhances the beauty of the other part. If one part is subtle and the other, that brings out its beauty. Engraving also creates personalized and decorative effects. ये appearance ही नहीं enhance करता है, but it also enhances the value of gold jewelry. The gold jewelry is seen differently with the engraved look. So either it can be done by hand or it can be done depending on the kind of detailing we require. What kind, what deep engraving we are looking for, it depends on that. So it is one of the techniques we are using for the gold jewelry. Filigree, the most accepted, the most creative, the most delicate way to patterns, the intricate ones, users around in design, twisted, curl, soldering, all are of the designing. So filigree is a complete technique that is also used at times for purposes. We also use gem set, but filigree brings the beauty to the gold jewelry. Gold jewelry filigree contrast के साथ comes out in the most niche manner. the enhanced look of filigree. छोटे छोटे wire का काम around the gold jewelry is combined with different. So अगर हम filigree use करें तो it's not necessary that we are using filigree on its own. Filigree can go with a gemstone setting, can go with a metal plane. So the design is enhanced in filigree with the alloy textured or a plain metal. So filigree, a wire work, wire, twisted wire, curled wire are used in the niche manner to create the most beautiful jewelry pattern. So filigree is one of the techniques that we go to use in our gold jewelry. Filigree also brings out the most beauty. Granulation, we call it rawa work बोल लीजिए, decorative beads बोल लीजिए, small gold beads बोल लीजिए, they all fuse together. कभी भी gold में jewelry pattern doesn't come on its own. There are various patterns that are fused together to create a decorative jewelry. So this thing यहाँ पे also granulation is used beautifully to create beautiful rawa ball patterns that brings the. This technique gives a very subtle texture a piece of jewelry. It creates patterns that resemble sparkling diamonds. So the gold jewelry beads once with rhodium brings a beautiful contrast also. Seva work as very much the most old technique of fusing the gold on the glass frames of beautiful design. So छोटे designs in gold sheets are cut, made and then pasted on the glass pattern. So this is also one of the traditional heritage jewelry of India. Patterns. अगर हम तेवा jewelry पे work पे जाएंगे, the entire filigree look, the entire work is beautifully depicted from mythology, from nature, from royal courts. It's just a storyline on the piece of a glass. So it's basically the traditional jewelry technique of Rajasthan. But आज भी outside India, globally, this technique is very much involved in the creation of jewelry. This is very much accepted and liked by the overseas people. We also have the making technique of Ruffage that involves creative designs, patterns on metal surface hammered from the opposite side. The reverse side को we form, we raise, we give, we hammer. The reverse side is raised as hammered and raised to such a form that the entire embossed area looks niche and beautiful. This craftsmanship is basically more used in the silver. For silver work, we use the metal sheet by hammering, pressing the metal from reverse side, or usse different forms we are raising. So this is also the embossing, that is the another name of Ruffage, which we use for creating the gold jewelry. Gold jewelry itself is created in various forms, and this is one of them. Coming back to our most beautiful Jarao jewelry, the word Jarao, that is rooted from the word Jad. Jad means बांधना, to embed. उसमें एक metal bed के अंदर उसे जड़ना. तो जड़ मतलब this is a stone technique. This is actually a stone setting technique जिसे to hold the polki and jadao slices in fail. So this jadao, the metal pure 24 karat gold pieces are folded in such a way to hold the polki that it surrounds the entire polki in a technique which is world famous. The 22 karat kundan sets and polki pieces are all world famous for its beauty. The entire Jaipur zone, the Rajasthan jewelry, is famous for its pure kundan work. The enamel, the jad is also one of the techniques which stands niche on its own. Die stuck stamp. So this is another example of our technique that used for gold jewelry. A stamping die is used to cut shapes from a sheet of metal. एक complete die बनती है और उससे दूसरे पीस पे वो रख के complete cutting style pattern create होता है. A sharp edged die is placed on and hammered until it is cut through the underlying metal. A complete process of complete stamping. So these dies sometimes have such intricate, such embossed design that the entire shape is cut in a beautiful cut. So this is into the metal shape that is cut. So ये total transfer also goes to that. Sharp die cut stamping method, not only the pattern is cut, it is also embossed on it. So both ways, die cut stamping is also one of the techniques that we use in enameling. Nina, world famous, we all know that is also one of the techniques of coloring and ornamenting metal. So we ornament the surface of the metal in another way. So we have cold enamel, we have hot enamel. So hot enamel is known as vitreous enameling, enamel is called lacquer enamel. So both are way to present vibrant colors that are applied to gold jewelry. But in lacquer enamel, we frame and we do different shades of color are applied to that indicate patterns and motifs. We have the scope of creating good designs of various vibrant colors. Enameling is also a technique. Meenakari is always ornamental to the surface of, and Meenakari brings the vibrancy to the jewelry. So अगर plain के साथ मीनाकारी जाती है, this is also one of the technique to enhance of the gold jewelry. Acceptable change in the jewelry sector is the sense of CNC machine. Now CNC machines jewelry making involves computer-aided designs. Now these machines had brought a back into the form. The CNC machine cutting have created rings, earrings in the most lightweight manner. CNC jewelry is the lightest because the entire process is already done and the entire jewelry brought into the most lightest way, that is precise steel. So CNC is a revolution also. Lightweight jewelry for our lightweight segment of all types of jewelry. So jewelry again has seen a technique, even the young generation have accepted, being trained under CNC machines. They are crafting new designs, innovating, exploring different styles, and every day new and new design forms in CNC. So CNC is a revolution in the present scenario. Coming to the trends of 24-25, we are progressing, how we are progressing in gold designing segment, how we are proceeding further with the design trends, what shift we have seen, what change we are going, how we are setting market for the upcoming year 25. So what we have seen that the consumer have started taking interest in the design. So the design requirement of people have changed. Now people have known the jewelry with the combinations with that is inspired. Even in gold jewelry, inspirational part, the floral motifs, the folds, the textures, the forms, the fusion is back. So the inspired floral jewelry is the trend of 2024. Have another part of nature, we call it ocean, the influence of nature on the oceans. We have ramp jewelry shows where we have seen the people's liking for this oceanic shells, oysters, the animations that are part of the fashion shows and fashion jewelry. So jewelry in gold has also uplifted its level. So inspired from nature and floral, the flora and fauna has become the part of our gold segment. Talking about layered necklace, now with the lightweight segment, they are going more for the design segment, more for the niche class of chains. The layered necklace, instead of chokers and all, the trend has changed to layering of chains in different styles. We can call it stackable, we can call it layered, we can call it multiple, and these have become the part of the jewelry trends of 2025. So people have used also in this segment where they have segment taking the different colors of gold in this gold jewelry. Out jewelry, also known as the statement jewelry. So statement jewelry, as you see, has again got the techniques of engraving, the fusion of metals and stones together, the roping, the styles, a jewelry that looks different from rest. Standout jewelry is always of the statement culture that is depicted for 24-25, and we see here the taste of consumers toward a different. So in that, it's the responsibility of the designers, who is working on this design segment, stands out in its own. These are the few of the just launched for our next coming gold courses that World Gold Council has highlighted recently. So we are up with the certificate and we are coming up with silver assaying courses in our next segment. So these both courses are very necessary for the young generation to understand how to assay the gold, most required need of the retail industry. So these courses help understand the need of gold, which is again a sustainable element we have. It's ethical practice to keep for the caratage, because hallmarking has already become mandatory for all the gold jewelry segment. So International Institute of Gemology with World Gold has come out with this gold assaying, and we are already started with our first batch of students completing this course. So this is one of the new and that IIG has started. Coming up again, I'll just show a small video on how gold assaying helps us in understanding the jewelry.
Favored as both jewelry and investment, especially in India. Hence, the matter of its purity becomes very important. In the gold and jewelry industry, purity can be accurately determined by the process of assaying. Let's find out how exactly it all unfolds. We'll begin with the oldest known method of assaying gold, fire assay. A very small amount is drilled off from unrefined gold. It's called doré or scrap and becomes the sample for assaying. A preliminary analysis of the sample is done on an XRF machine and its composition is determined. On the basis of this analysis, calculations for quotation are done and the samples are weighed on a highly sensitive analytical balance. They are then wrapped in lead foil and deposited into preheated shallow porous containers called cupels that are placed in a cupellation furnace of a desired set temperature. The base metals present in the sample get oxidized, leaving behind just the precious metals. The samples are allowed to cool, after which the precious metal beads are separated and manually cleaned. The beads are or pressed, depending on what is required, and then rolled into cornets. The cornets include silver, which must now be eliminated by a process called parting. The cornets are washed twice with concentrated nitric acid, which completely dissolves the silver without affecting the gold. All the silver has now been flushed out, leaving behind just the gold. The washed gold cornet is left to cool and dry. It is then subjected to annealing to make it cohesive, or rigid. And weighed. This completes the fire assay process. Gold purity can also be determined by spark spectrometry and ICP spectrometry. Spark spectrometry involves igniting a high-energy spark generated by highly charged ionized argon gas. The light emitted provides simultaneous quantitative analysis of gold. During ICP spectroscopy, high-energy plasma is generated by highly charged ionized argon gas. This provides the energy for absorption spectroscopy, which is the basis of quantitative analysis. It's a highly sensitive technique that can determine purity down to parts per billion. Next time you marvel at your gold, remember that assaying has a big role to play in ascertaining its purity. Thanks to assaying, all that glitters is actually gold.
Yes, all that glitters is actually gold. So gold jewelry के बारे में जितना बोलो कम है. Gold is always the most metal by Indians, and now the overseas people are very fond of the gold technique. I personally meet so many people's requirement about the design sense that India holds and their way and approach to understand the design of India. हमारे यहाँ की डिजाइनिंग वर्ल्ड फेमस है एंड लोग हमसे ये सीखना चाहते हैं किस तरह उनके सेगमेंट को वो और बेटर कर सके डिजाइन. So everything starts from design through design techniques, gold techniques and in our IIG courses, in our jewelry design segment, we try to give our students, हम बच्चों को scratch से from a basic design sketch to final branding of the product. We try to make them understand the entire process. चाहे वो design sense हो, चाहे वो CAD के techniques हो, CAD का software हो, चाहे वो manufacturing process, चाहे वो gold assaying course to understand the purity and how to launch a brand. Brand को किस तरह से launch करना है, कल वो खुद entrepreneur कैसे बन सकते हैं, how can they start their own business. So we at IIG try to skill them up in every sector of gem and jewelry. We also provide corporate trainings for all retail stores. We also try to give consultancy on retail management, personality development. Each and every segment of gem and jewelry is being catered by IIG. So we are trying hard to uplift the gem and jewelry industry to professionals who enter the market with entire skill knowledge. So ये हमारी कोशिश है कि industry को skill दे so that they also grow and provide better opportunities to people who want to enter this industry. अब ये industry सिर्फ generation oriented नहीं है because we have seen a shift of young people who are not entirely from the business background, from the jewelry segment, want to make a mark in the industry as a jewelry designer, as a merchandiser, as a CAD designer, as an entrepreneur. But what I feel, this industry is open to all, and for that they need the right knowledge. And we at IIG try to give the best knowledge. Thank you all. Can I have any questions if you all have?
किसी का कोई सवाल हो आप हैंड रेज कीजिए, आपको अनम्यूट कर देंगे। तो मैम सेशन क्लोज करते हैं, आई थिंक किसी का कोई क्वेश्चन नहीं है।
हाँ जी, okay.
So thank you all the participants
Thank you all
and
participants.
thank you Gunjan ma'am, and
Yeah.
thank you World Gold Council for the supporting us.
Yeah. So we have different course fees, TSB, to IIG India website, iig.india, and all the course details are provided there. iig.india.com.
तो गुंजन में मैं सेशन क्लोज करते हैं, क्योंकि
हाँ जी।
टाइम भी काफी ज्यादा हो गया है।
Yeah. Thank you everyone.
एंड थैंक यू मैम।